Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope you're ready for the weekend. I have had one of those days where I'm still in my workout clothes that I put on this morning and I have not got my workout in yet, but I still need to go to the grocery store, and that takes priority today because we're at the bare bones. So I'm going to do that first, and if I have to do my workout with my kids all around me and it's not a perfect workout, it's totally fine. I'll still get it in. But today we're going to talk about prebiotics and probiotics, what they are and if you need them. We're going to talk about where you can get them as far as like from your foods and all that kind of stuff too. So just when you hear prebiotics and probiotics, don't automatically think that it's just the supplement. Like, you actually can get those from food as well. It's just a very, very common supplement because you have to ingest a lot of the food that contains prebiotics and probiotics, and it's really hard to get enough from just food. So that's the reason why they've become such popular supplements, and you have to have both actually for either one of them to do anything. So let's get into it. So you need both, like I just said, for a healthy gut overall. And probiotics are actually live organisms. So they're microorganisms, super, super small, and they help, the good bacteria, all that stuff. So to have the probiotics, for them to thrive, since they are alive, for them to thrive, they have to have prebiotics to eat. So if you imagine like the Pac-Man from the old Pac-Man game, and he's like eating the little dots or whatever, it's basically Pac-Man is a probiotic and he's eating prebiotics. So you have to have the fiber is what prebiotics basically are. You have to have the prebiotics in there for the probiotics to eat. So it keeps them happy, it keeps them alive. You want the probiotics to stay in your gut and stay alive. And they basically, are there to be fed and to stay happy. They help aid in your digestion, and they're what help carry the bad bacteria away. So you basically have to keep them happy by feeding them the prebiotics. So let's talk about different things that are prebiotics and probiotics, like that have them in the food. So prebiotics, it's mostly raw foods. Now, when you cook foods, you're automatically going to change its nutritional value and its structural integrity and all that kind of stuff of what it is capable of doing inside your body. That's true for all foods. Now, obviously, you can't eat like raw meat, all raw meat and stuff like that. But as far, especially fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, it's best to eat raw when you can. I love roasted vegetables so much that I should probably eat them raw more than I do roasted. But anyway, so when you think about prebiotics, try to get them in the raw form. So we've got like banana, raw chicory root, just think lots of plants. It's mostly all plants. Asparagus, sweet potatoes, leeks, raw and cooked onions have a good amount of prebiotics. So some of these, they lose a lot of their prebiotics if they are cooked, but onions is one that still has substantial. Dandelion greens, dandelion root, different kinds of wheat like raw wheat bran, raw wheat flour, which you usually end up cooking that, so it's not like you're going to sit there and eat a bunch of raw wheat flour, but maybe if it's just like barely cooked, you can still get some. I'm still studying all this too, because I just find it so fascinating. And then raw carrots do have a little bit of prebiotic properties. So that's the food for the probiotics. So you want to get, it's recommended to get like 5 grams of prebiotics per day, which can be really hard, like I said, from your food. So because who eats chicory root every day? I know some people drink chicory root coffee. It's heated up, so I'm not sure how much of the benefits you're actually getting from that. So that's something that I'm going to dive into a little bit deeper to see, like, if things are cooked, if things are prepared a little bit, is it still enough of the prebiotics there to even consider it a prebiotic? As far as probiotics go, I'm sure you've heard of doing yogurts and sauerkraut. There's kefir, there's kimchi, there's sour cream. I know there's more out there, but those are kind of like some of the basics. So if you have some Greek yogurt, like, try to keep it plain yogurt. Some yogurts say really tout their probiotic stances and stuff like that. But if you get yogurts that have a bunch of sugar in them, you're basically nulling the probiotic effect, because here are some microbiome destroyers: antibiotics, artificial sweeteners, sugar, non-organic produce, GMOs, and overly sterilized environments. So when you hear people talk about how it's kind of actually bad for your immune system to use a lot of hand sanitizer, it's because being over sterilized actually takes away some of that bacteria you need. So you actually, when I say get outside and play, be in your natural habitat as much as possible, experience more ecosystems than just your own, like as far as being around other people's germs, being around animals, hugging and kissing on your partner and stuff. Like it's somebody else's ecosystem. And so being outside as much as possible, playing in the dirt, being around other animals and plants and all that stuff, it actually helps your good bacteria thrive and grow, to try to outweigh the bad bacteria. So it's really good to get dirty and to be dirty sometimes. Now, it's kind of tricky when you're in an environment where there's been flu, or there's somebody's been sick that you're around. Like, your first instinct is to wash your hands or to use hand sanitizer, and you probably should in that instance. But this is just saying that something that's overly sterilized, as far as like basically it's saying it's cool that I don't clean my house really deep all the time. But no, for real, like like hospitals, like it's kind of like a tricky thing with hospitals, because even though there's a lot of germs and a lot of sick people, it's also over sterilized to keep those germs to themselves. So some people who might, who are usually healthy and are in hospitals all the time, like their gut microbiome might be a little bit more destroyed than somebody's who didn't have to spend as much time in a hospital, if that makes sense. So go play in the dirt, go, let your dog lick your face and all that kind of stuff. It's okay. I know some of y'all are probably like, but basically I'm just going to use it as an excuse not to clean my house. No, I'm just kidding. It's really hard to keep my house clean with tiny toddlers all around, but they're close to preschool age and it's getting a little bit better. Here are the benefits from getting enough prebiotics and probiotics in your gut to keep it healthy. It prevents, too much leaky gut happening, so it's less leaky gut. Your energy should improve. So you have more energy. You should be able to absorb calcium better, which is huge, especially for us women, because it also helps improve bone density. They kind of go hand in hand. After we hit age 35, our bone density starts dramatically declining. Lifting weights is actually really good for helping with bone density. I know that doesn't seem like it makes sense, but it's true. And you're able to absorb the calcium that you put in your body more. You're only able to absorb so much calcium at a time anyway, so it's not like you could sit there and drink a whole bunch of almond milk or whatever over and over and over, like cup after cup after cup, and you be able to absorb it all, because you're only able to absorb so much anyway. So this helps just set the lining of your intestines able to absorb more calcium than it would if you had an unhealthy gut. It should result in less inflammation, less appetite, like in a healthy way. You shouldn't feel so snacky. You shouldn't feel like you're starving, like right after you ate. It should aid in weight loss. It should help improve immune function. So I talked about how your immunity is so directly related to your intestinal health. And it should lead to better regularity, which we talked a little bit about this morning, and for day 3. And it should aid in vitamin production. So your body is actually able to, it creates a lot of these vitamins. So people think they need to take vitamins because they don't eat enough of them, but your body is also able to create vitamins. So you want to set your body into like an environment where it's able to create vitamins. The probiotic that I'm taking, it's not just a probiotic, it's actually a blend of prebiotic and probiotic, so that it has something to feed off of, even if I don't eat enough foods with prebiotic in there. And it has a new strain of of probiotic in there that actually helps your body create B12. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, because I'm going to talk about my experience with the gut detox that I did. And I didn't start taking my probiotic blend until after I completed the detox, and I'll explain more why tomorrow. But I'm very, very excited because the quality of the probiotic blend that I'm taking, everything that I've researched about it is top notch. You want to make sure, if you do use a probiotic supplement, that it's in either a dark or a solid container, because since it's a living organism, it has to be kept alive. So the process of it being encapsulated and all that stuff being transferred to people, it's very important that it's kept to a certain standard so that the probiotic is actually alive when you get it, and that when you take it, it's actually still alive and doing something in your gut. If it's not alive by the time you take it, you're wasting your money and it's not doing anything. So the quality of this particular probiotic blend, I'm very happy with. I expected it to be a lot more expensive than it was, and it's not. And the fact that it helps me create my own B12. I mean, B12 is like huge for mood and energy and being able to lose weight. So when people have trouble kind of breaking through a weight loss plateau and they have gut issues, I've seen several cases of people doing the gut detox and then adding in it's called Probio, but adding in the prebiotic and probiotic blend, especially now that it has the new strain that helps you create B12, and it helps aid in weight loss more. So I know, there's some people that I know that get B12 shots to help them lose weight, but you're getting no other benefits from that. So if I can take a pre and probiotic blend that helps my body create B12, that makes me feel really good. So that's just a few things to take away as far as pre and probiotics go. If you have any questions, drop below. I'm going to put some infographics in the comments that kind of just more visuals of how your intestines work and why it's important to have more good bacteria than bad bacteria, and what these pre and probiotics do as far as maintaining good gut health, and just knowing that, having better having a more healthy intestinal tract, gastrointestinal tract, is just such a huge part of your body. And since it's just not talked about because you can't work it out like you do with fitness, it is directly related by, things you eat, but there's also so much more that affects it. It's just more complex. So, we're all starting to understand a little bit more about it, and it's become something I can see now that if you don't have, quality ingredients, and, you don't want fillers, you don't want, any yucky stuff in whatever you're taking, stuff that isn't an actual, whole food or whole plant, or an actual thing that exists, and it wasn't created, in a factory, or it wasn't, it's not just a random, non-plant item, I guess you should say. So, again, just like I say with your food, any supplement you take, you need to know the ingredients. You need to be able to see all the ingredients and know what they are before you put them into your body, especially if you're going to do it daily, like you would a pre and probiotic. So also, though, it's not like you need a pre and probiotic all the time. Depending on kind of where your microbiome is, like I wasn't taking a specific probiotic before I did the gut detox, and I didn't take one during because it strips, it's just taking as much out of it as it can. So I'm taking it now because the detox kind of helped heal and seal, and then the probiotic is replenishing as much good flora as possible, good bacteria. So once I get through the dose I'm taking now, there's 60 capsules in the bottle that I have, and so that's 2 months if I just take one a day. It doesn't hurt you to take more, but because I'm being more conscious, sorry, I always get a call when I'm on this. What was I saying? Oh, because because I'm making, an effort to eat healthier and to do things that would help my gut health, I feel like one a day is substantial enough. But I'm going to experiment with it and see. So it's just one of those things where after I get through the bottle, I'm going to kind of see where I am as far as how I feel compared to when I first started taking them, and see, I might wait a month before I start taking more, because I'm going to try to do as much nutritional pre and probiotics as I can now that I know more, and I'm going to keep learning more over the next month before I run out of my supplement. So then I can do more nutritional wise and, go a month without ordering more supplements. So I'm going to see how it goes. But I'll give you the rundown tomorrow of the gut detox that I did. And if you have any questions on pre and probiotics, I would love to answer those. If I don't know the answer, I'll definitely figure it out for you. But definitely tell me if you have any takeaways from this video or from any of the videos thus far. And there will be a freebie happening tomorrow. It's like after I kind of like run through some things, I've got like a little announcement, and I'll be including something for free for people who take advantage of it. So that'll be fun. You guys have a great weekend, and it'll probably be the afternoon again before I go live tomorrow. But yeah, I hope this was helpful.